ثم نالوا ما أرادوا رتلوا إنا فتحنا.
This is Salaam.
نجوم وبهم
Welcome back. You're listening to the Mara Mukwanda Show on Salaam Media, and we are also live on Facebook. If you have any comments, queries, questions, or suggestions, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. And you can also leave them in the comments section below. So during the lockdown, a lot of people have been trying whatever it is they can to keep them sane. And one of those things is gardening and doing something at home to also have fresh produce, organic food, and something that, that will help you take the stress and anxiety of the lockdown. The Salaam Foundation has launched an organic farm project. Produce and protect your own vegetable garden with a greenhouse supplied by the Salaam Foundation. Greenhouse, you're thinking? Yes, a greenhouse indeed. Azhar Vade is on the line to talk more about this project and how you can purchase your own greenhouse from Salaam Foundation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Azhar, shukran for joining me.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Mariam. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much for having us on.
Alhamdulillah. So tell us about this organic farm project that the Salaam Foundation has undertaken.
Well, what you just mentioned there in your introduction is actually part 2 of a larger project that we are launching here at Salaam Media and Salaam Foundation. Rightly so, it's got to do with farming, organic produce, greenhouses, and getting ourselves into the process of producing our own food. So right next to the Salaam Foundation building in Robertsham, there's an empty plot, and we've managed to acquire the rights to that piece of land. And what the idea and the intention is to put up a garden within the city that produces its own organic vegetables. That is a green center. And in fact, we still debating the name, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of the farm in the city. And the produce that we hope to produce from there, inshallah, will be organic, which simply means that there are no pesticides and insecticides used in its growth, and that we try and stay away from GMOs and genetically modified organisms. So as healthy and as best as possible, we want to begin planting a range of crops and developing that piece of land into a beautiful, relaxing garden atmosphere that produces its own food. Now, you haven't been to the office because of the lockdown regulations and all of the transport hassles yet, Miriam, but just yesterday, in fact, we managed to complete a wooden house or a structure that is in our current yard where we normally park our vehicles. And this will become an outlet, an organic store that will be able to sell the organic produce to people who would want to buy it, obviously. It will stock a number of other items, but all in the free range and organic style and genre. The point behind all of that is to, number one, there'll be a certain percentage of of the produce that will be going and be delivered to communities that are in need of food and assistance, number one. Number two, the profits and proceeds that are generated through the sale of these organic items will then be plowed back into the various different projects that we are doing, from the media and reporting on countries around the world and the suffering of oppression of people, and bringing out their causes and their challenges to the public notice. And number two, in the various humanitarian types of projects. So for perhaps transportation is needed for shipping container to Syria or to Yemen, or we are assisting the Palestinian cause, or we need to get goods down to Zimbabwe or Mozambique, or in South Africa, the various projects that we are running. Proceeds from there could be used for these projects. So really, it's a wonderful endeavor that we are looking forward to. And along with that, there's a borehole that we need to establish also on this in this land, so that the water is accessible, and that water obviously will also be available to the community and to anybody else who would want to benefit from that resource as the time is may face us with. So that's where we are with the project, inshallah. And in all of that, greenhouses are very, very important, obviously.
So, what sort of produce will be farmed on that plot?
So we are looking primarily at leafy vegetables. Already we've planted a number of seedlings, and we're going to be growing our own seedlings. So Chinese cabbage, for example, I know there's a tray of that. There's a tray of radish. There's a tray of cabbage. There's a tray of kale that is quite commonly used now in the dieting segment of society. And quite a bit of these vegetables, for example, kale, right? It's known by a various number of names. Uh, some people call it Morocco, but I don't know if it's actually Morocco. But the Malawi community, residents that have come from Malawi that are living here now in South Africa, they really look forward to kale production, and it's not the easiest thing to find. So that sector of the target market is just to be able to buy that particular product. Carrots is out there. Okra is the English name for binda in the Urdu language. I know Ali, our assistant here, has also been saying that binda and okra is a number one selling product in the Malawi community again. So those kinds
That's
of
true.
things will all be grown, and we're really looking forward to the flourishing of this garden, inshallah.
I'm particularly excited because I also want to get into gardening very soon, and I've thought of buying my own little pot plants. And I have some herbs growing on my windowsill, so I'm excited to come down to Salam Media and get my hands dirty once again, and also perhaps buy some seedlings from there. Is that possible? Will we be able to buy seedlings? Can anybody purchase seedlings that Salam Foundation will be growing?
Absolutely, we'll be able to supply those kinds of seedlings over time. Right now, the objective or primary objective is to produce the seedlings so that we can, have them planted into our own little vegetable patch there. But over time, we do foresee that we'll be able to produce a lot more as our skills improve also, and then those seedlings will be made available to anybody that wants to purchase them. And importantly, we've been in discussions with seed farmers. Now, you may be wondering, what on earth is a seed farmer? Because normally seeds are used to produce crops, and then the crops are sold by the farmers. But we have a real problem in terms of GMOs and genetically modified organisms, that these fast growing plants that have had their genetics all scrambled up and changed in order to tackle the different climates and whatever else around the world. But once those are once off crops, they've genetically modified it in such a way that the seed is now patented by these companies, and they won't grow the second time around when you plant them in the ground. And this has led to farmers around the world suffering a hell of a lot, right? So in India, for example, I think well over 100,000 farmers have committed suicide because it creates a debt cycle. You have to take a loan in order to purchase the seeds, and then the certain pesticides and insecticides and chemicals that go into looking after that plant to create that perfect looking vegetable, or an out of season vegetable, for example. But you are unable to repay that debt fast enough, and the next year you need new seeds, so you can't harvest seed from that particular plant and reuse it. So you're dependent on that multinational corporation. So the seeds that we are using are all heirloom seeds. They are natural seeds from a seed bank company that we've been in discussions with, and those seeds are all highly nutritious vegetables that will come out from there. And that's the type of work that we want to do. We're not interested really in the quantity of stuff that we can put out, but rather the quality of produce that we can bring in. Another item, for example, free range eggs. That's something that we want to go into as well. And from chickens that are naturally roaming around, that go through the process as it was 100 years ago without any chemical injections, and then that egg that's created from there, it just tastes different, it looks different, and the nutritional value is way different. And then the actual chickens themselves. We want to look at the production and slaughtering of free range chickens. And again, not in quantities, but rather quality that people are looking for. And I think that will be our defining and unique characteristic of the Salam Foundation food store here in Robertsham.
Definitely, it is a unique idea, and well, something that not many people or organizations think of going through. Now, you mentioned about part two of the project, which is the greenhouse. Just tell us a little bit about that. How can you sell greenhouses? Like, you just take up a greenhouse and transport it and put it into someone's yard, and then voila.
See, the idea behind the greenhouse is, and why we're encouraging people. I mean, we should actually be saying to ourselves that this is an idea that we are now developing at Salam Media. And so let's be stingy about it and just keep it to ourselves. But right now, if you look at what COVID-19 has presented to the world, and all of us are in the financial tightness, industries closed down, a number of institutions have laid off workers. There hasn't been a sector of the economy that has not been affected. And importantly, in all of this, however, the one sector of our society that has grown is food production. People will continue to need food irrespective of what the situation is. Even in a war, people still will require food. The factories may shut down, the electricity plants may close down, but you still need to feed the bellies of people. And if you can begin to produce food, that's a very, very good, strong economic sector to be going into. Also, we've seen that if the highways, for example, have to be shut down for any one reason in an apocalyptic kind of situation, or
Mhm,
shipping lanes from countries are stopped for whatever military reasons, or the lack of fuel, or anything for that matter, the ports are closed, or in this case, a pandemic breaks out and transportation is not taking place. How do we ensure food security for ourselves? And every person
mhm,
needs to begin to ask that question. How do you look after yourself? So if you have a small garden in the back of your home, Mariam, and you farming some cabbage, and you got some carrots, and you've got spinach growing there, you can make it through a lot longer than somebody who doesn't have access to that. I'm talking in a very microcosmic kind of way, in a very small way. You'd be able to, for example, if you've got 10 or 20 spinach plants, every week you'd be able to harvest 10 or 20 or 30 leaves. And spinach is a highly nutritious vegetable. It can keep you and your family members going for that little bit extra period of time. And we can make that happen in everybody's home on a larger scale if you protect those vegetables. Now, pests, and you're talking about the weather, and rain, heavy rains, and birds that may come through there, or children running through the garden. All of those pose significant dangers to your tiny little seedlings and your delicate plants that will be growing. And the first thing that the greenhouse does is that it protects your growth. The second thing that it does is that it creates better environmental conditions inside of the greenhouse. So now it's winter time, but you may want to plant a summer crop or a spring crop, and you need the temperatures to be hovering at around 23, 24, 25 degrees Celsius. But outside, it's 15 degrees and 18 degrees Celsius, too cold to grow those vegetables. So the greenhouse creates those conditions. As the sunlight comes in, it bounces off all around the windows or the reflective plastic sheetings, and the heat gets trapped inside there. And this allows you to
mhm,
plant a wider range of vegetables throughout the year in a protective environment. And we're saying to people, we can supply those to you. We can get those greenhouses to you at the same price that you would get them if you had to go directly to the importer of those products. And they are high quality, they come with a guarantee, it's easy to assemble. It makes so much of sense that it's a no brainer, really, if you are into home gardening.
mhm. And what are we looking at the sizes and the costs? Since yeah, you did mention that they are easy to install. Can they be set up anywhere?
Yeah, all you need is a flat piece of land, or flattish piece of land. They get dug into the ground a little bit so that it prevents any of the pests from crawling under the plastic, or from deluges of water in a heavy rain from coming into them. You get various sizes. So starting off at a 3 meter by 2 meter by 2 meter high, so 3 meter long, 2 meter wide, and 2 meter high, and then they go on to 4 meters and 4.5 by 3 meters, and then you go up to 6 and 10, and even a 12 meter, right? So 12 meter long by 3 meter wide by 2.5 meters high, and that's the type that we've obviously tried to put in. The prices, and I see there, Sister Safia Muhammad Rahim is asking the various prices. I don't have them in front of me. They're normally on my phone, and I'm now discussing and chatting to you through the phone. So on the Facebook page that you are on, Sister Safia, and anybody else that's listening, just scroll down a little bit on the Salaam Media page, and you'll be able to see an advert that's been put up there for the various sizes. They start off at around 4,000 rands for the smallest one, and they increase incrementally to the large one, which is on special right now at 11,999 rands for the 12-meter one. And in between the various sizes, you'll be able to see what's available. We courier it around, anywhere in the country, wherever it's required. And really, this is a worthwhile investment. Over time, the one that we saw already established at our suppliers has been up for 5 years. It's running quite nicely. It comes with a 1-year guarantee, for example, and there we have it. They've put up the prices there for anybody who wants to see it. That little image that has come, 80 rands for the small one, 4,600 for the slightly bigger one, and then it goes up in price range. So if anybody wants to have a look at them, they are obviously on this video also. We courier it around the country at no additional costs, and they come with, as I said, a 1-year guarantee on any workmanship problems, so zips that may not work, or stitching that comes out. We'll gladly replace the covering. Inside is built with a steel structure, and that galvanized steel tubing, it comes in 25 millimeters thickness, and basically all that it connects up. It's got its various knobs, all the tools you require, everything is in that pack, and you just need to put it together like a tent. It's very easy to assemble, no difficulties, any person can do it, and it's portable. So the day you feel like, what, I need to move this to another area, I want to do some construction here, or I want to extend it and go bigger, or whatever the need is, I'm going to another town, all you need to do is uh, disassemble, pack it up into its box once again, take it, re-establish your garden, and voila, it's as easy as that.
All right. Sounds like an amazing idea. And contact details?
Well, they're free to call us at the Salaam Media offices. The number is 011-680-0355. They can call me directly on 081-706-4622. Or you could contact Sister Fatima here at the Salaam Foundation, our COO, on 072-122-8400. Or you can email us, az@salammedia.com or fatima@salammedia.com, and we'll gladly respond to any of your queries that you may have.
All right. So, shukran so much for your time and for sharing with us information on that.
One more thing, Sister Mariam, before I disengage. If anybody would like to contribute to the farming and borehole project, remember this is the Sadaqah Jariyah project. So you may contribute, for example, 10 rands to the farming garden project. And that 10 rands effectively will go into the project, into the farm. Somewhere along the line, plants are going to grow. It's going to feed people in South Africa. We're going to look after their needs. A portion of it may go into the transport, as I said, or whatever other projects that we are doing. And the thawab that you gain is now being split into every single project. So some people, for example, want to support Syria. Some people want to support Yemen. Some people want to support South African projects. Some people want to drill for water and have the thawab of water. If you contribute to this project, you can have a share in every single one of the projects that we are doing and the charitable works that we are doing. And it extends even further. If we support, for example, an orphanage out in Syria, the kid in Syria in that orphanage goes and does a hifz of Quran, becomes an alim, goes and looks after their family. They start another garden. Whatever good comes from that orphan child that you are now indirectly supporting, even the goodness of that, you'll get the thawab ongoing in perpetuity. in the akhirat, you'll see all the thawab and you'll wonder where it may have come from. It may just be that 10 rand we put into the garden here in order for it to start off. So we really look forward to your support in this matter. And inshallah, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful success.
I mean, indeed, it will be a success because, well, you can never go wrong with food. I mean, people need to eat. And as it is right now, we've seen the situation that the lack of food has brought and during this pandemic. So, inshallah, people will take note of this and get involved for their own benefit and the benefits of the rest of the world. Shukran for your time and for sharing that with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Azhar Vadi, the CEO of Salaam Media and Salaam Foundation, telling us about the project that will be starting very soon. It's the organic farming project, as well as the greenhouse project that will be followed by that organic farm project, which means that you will be allowed to purchase a greenhouse for yourself in order to plant your own veggies at home. But if you feel like buying veggies from a Salaam Foundation, then you can also go ahead and do that and invest in it. You know, Sadaqah Jariyah is investing in your akhirah, in your hereafter. It's recurring charity. So a little goes a long way. Like Azhar said, just 10 Rand. 10 Rand goes a long way. The banking details are up on the screen right now. And obviously, for more information, you can also call the number that is on screen or Google Salaam Media, and all the information will be on our website. We will be right back.
Salaam Media, and you are tuned into the Salaam Foundation Show. There are just one. The L. Allows you to track the progress of your orphan through regular feedback. Make a difference in the life of an orphan today. Visit alinvent.com or call 0861 786 243 for
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
with over 80 years of experience. This is Salaam Media.
So that brings us to the end of our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments, queries, questions, or suggestions, do leave them in the comment section below. or you can send them to WhatsApp on 0617660355. And also, if you want to be part of the Organic Farm Project, then you can call Salaam Media, send an email, or visit the Salaam Media social media pages as well as the website. And remember that you are not allowed to visit Salaam Media offices just yet, because we're still following the lockdown rules and regulations. So just hold it right there. We can send you pictures if you want to see what is really going on. But for now, let's keep the distance. So do join me again on Monday, inshallah. So from myself, Mariam Mukonda, and the Salaam Media team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.